Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. Welcome back from the business desk with Joanna. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and it's time for the agenda. Staying with matters KCCA this morning, and in particular, we're looking at the state of the roads in Kampala Metropolitan. Now, with current road constructions currently going on in Kampala, for example, the Kampala flyover project, that is construction connects to Mukwano Industries, Kitgum House roundabout extending to Nile Avenue and Centenary Park. There is also the Kampala Northern Bypass ongoing works. There include capacity improvements, creating 4 lanes and building new interchanges at Sentema, Hoima, Gayaza and Ntinda roads. Therein also is another project, that is the ongoing constructions involving 7th, 6th and 8th streets along with Kampala-Masaka highway improvements. Also, several roads are under rehabilitation or upgrading, including Kulambiro Ring Road, Lukuli Road, Port Bell Road, Old Port Bell Road, Nakawa Ntinda Road, and John Babiha Acacia Avenue on there. Also, upgrades on Ben Chiwanuka Street, Rashid Kamis Road, Old Kampala Matia Mulumba Road, and others. All of those are constructions going on for upgrading and enhancement. And I believe you've been affected by these constructions in one way or the other, or you've seen what's taking shape on there. Now, with that at the back of our heads, let's indeed look at the state of the roads in Kampala Metropolitan. I'm having this conversation with Edemachu Monica Ejua, who is the Under-Secretary, Office of the President, Ministry of Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. Later on, we'll be definitely joined by a technical expert in line with this same conversation, and that is Engineer Dr. Semuwemba James, Infrastructure Development Specialist in the Ministry of Kampala. But for now, let's kickstart this off with the Undersecretary herself. Be part of the conversation. 0709-602-592 by text, WhatsApp, and share your opinion. Ask your question as we all learn and relearn as we get the clearer picture of what the state of the roads in Kampala Metropolitan look like. Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you, Julie, and morning viewer. I want to thank you for inviting me and my colleague to UBC, where we are going to talk about the state of roads in Kampala metropolitan area.
Right.
You realize that in the recent past, many people living in the Kampala metropolitan area have complained about the state of roads in this region. And they have complained about potholes and so on. And we who work for government knew that government has plans to improve infrastructure in this region. And indeed, the activities being undertaken right now is in line with National Development Plan 4, is in line with NRM manifesto, is in line with a number of policy documents that include Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area, Economic Development Strategy, and the Master Plan for Kampala Metropolitan. And right now, there are a lot of developments going on under different programs like you have elaborated. And as we do this infrastructure development, it is our responsibility as government to put environmental and social safeguard measures to protect the people of Uganda. Because whether we like it or not, Kampala city was planned for a population of about 500,000 people. But today, in the entire Greater Kampala metropolitan area, we have about 6.2 million people as per the recent population census. This therefore means we are in the process of improving the infrastructure. There may be inconveniences, but as government, we are putting in place environmental and social safeguard measures to ensure that our people live hand in hand with the developments. Definitely, it will create jam for a while, but after we have completed the developments, we should have a better environment to live in. And we are looking at having tourism. Tourists come to this region because we have a lot of tourist potential. And we are also targeting areas where the roads lead to some of our tourism centers. Like, for instance, we are soon going to hand over site for construction of Bweyogerere, Buto, Namugongo Road, where Ugandans know in the month of June, so many people come to celebrate our matters. We are looking at some of our cultural centers where, when we improve the infrastructure, our tourists should be able to be at peace. So there's a lot of construction going on. Under Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program, we have so many roads across the 9 implementing entities of Kampala Metropolitan Area. We have, and that is under the World Bank funding, we have African Development Funding, which is currently in Kampala Capital City Authority. So, Julie, true, there are a lot of infrastructure working, but as government, we are also working in a coordinated manner. Ministry of Works interfaces Ministry of Kampala because we serve one government, and we must make sure that even when we are doing these developments, our people continue to do their businesses and they are not inconvenienced.
And I'd like to really thank you for that background that you've given. But if you could go a little deeper into an analysis of what Kampala roads look like currently and what you're solving. I understand there's maintenance, there's an upgrade going on, there are new roads being constructed. But from the city authorities' perspective and government's perspective, what is the analysis? What are you addressing? What are you solving? What are you improving? Give us a detail of it.
One, Kampala capital city is the Kampala city is the capital city of Uganda, and it is the heart of Uganda. And more than 60% of the GDP of this country is from the city. And improving Kampala metropolitan roads means one, once these roads are improved, we already have people who are now trying to purchase land in areas where they know that we are going to develop. Meaning this infrastructure development is going to come with developments. People are going to put businesses along these roads, what we call transit-oriented transport.
Right.
Once people settle in those areas, even those people who have already settled in those locations, the value of their land has improved. And we are anticipating that once these developments are completed, there should be improvement in livelihood of the people. People will be able to do businesses, and some of those who already had businesses, the business should be upscaled. So this infrastructure, and of course, like I have said, tourism sector. Tourism sector, we are going to attract more tourists because nobody will want to move to an environment where there are tourists. And a number of our roads are intended to address the issue of traffic jam. Like in Mukono municipality, we are working on Bull and Tenjero Road. We already have Jinja Road. That is Mukono district. In Mukono municipality, we are working on Seta, Bajo, Nakabago, Ntawo Road. Meaning it is intended to address the jam that is on the Jinja Road, such that instead of all the trucks focusing on Jinja Road, if we address this, we complete this road, some of the vehicles will be diverted there. And we have put Bull and Tenjero. We are already working with the Ministry of Works and Transport to see the possibility of a ferry between Gaba and Bule. And once the ferry is there, it should be able to address the challenge. You know, under the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program, when we took this to Cabinet, His Excellency, the President, guided that we should look at the campus approach, because people of Kampala are tired of traffic. And we are trying to see how can we decongest the main roads by putting up some of this infrastructure such that people move away from the main road and they are able to travel within the shortest possible time. And then, of course, once we have put this road, we are looking at urban mobility. Can we have bus rapid transport? Government is already thinking in that direction. Can we have light rail transport such that our people, like now during rainy season, right, the cry is so much, the traffic along our roads are clogged up, and it is a very big challenge. So this is an intended move by government to try to resolve the issue of traffic congestion along our main roads by making sure that the other smaller roads are developed and are improved, and then we have a better city. And even the plan to see to it that, if possible, can people, once we have created better environment, you know, in our master plan, we are looking at metropolitan centers such as Wakiso, Kajansi, Chengera. We are saying once we cluster these centers and we improve road infrastructure in those areas, people will have better services. And once people get better services, this business of Ugandans waking up every day coming to the middle of the city and congesting it will reduce, because we are putting markets in the surrounding areas. We are putting better social services in the surrounding areas. So, Julie, this is the intention of government to see to it that Kampala metropolitan area becomes a better city and a better environment for Ugandans to live.
Right. I really appreciate the detail and plethora of knowledge you pour in there, because I was about to ask you, you had mentioned a statistic that Kampala was constructed originally to hold about, was it 500,000 people? And right now it's 2 million, about 2 million there.
Kampala metropolitan is 6.2 million people.
6.2 million people right now.
And we're anticipating that by 2050, we will have a population about 14 million people in Kampala metropolitan area alone. And that is why government is trying to work hard to see that better services are provided even in the surrounding areas. If possible, people reduce coming to concentrate in the city center and live in the surrounding area. Right.
And I love the fact that you've shared that in the plans is making sure that the outskirts of Kampala are well provided for with facilities that keep people in those areas as opposed to overly crowding in Kampala. Thank you so much for being on the show. I can see some of your comments that are coming through, and we are delving into them in just a bit. We are looking at the state of Kampala's roads, Kampala Metropolitan to be particular, and we're having this conversation with Edemachu Monica Ejua, who is the Under-Secretary, Office of the President, Ministry of Kampala Capital and Metropolitan Affairs. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number for you to be part of the conversation. Now, allow me to read some of the comments that are coming through. And we're starting with Good Morning Uganda. This is Shafiq from Rubaga. I'm asking, before we actually get onto the roads, does anyone ever think of why they are damaged day in, day out? Thus, this is definitely because of the poor drainage system. So I'm asking, what is the government doing with the Kampala drainage, because this has been a common problem? Now, this question, I'm definitely looking forward to the technical aspect of it being answered from that vantage. But I don't know, ma'am, if you have your own perspective to speak into this particular question of Shafiq, who's watching from Rubaga and is wondering, why are the roads spoiled day in, day out? Yes, we understand that, okay, poor drainage could be a problem, but what is the government doing to improve the drainage system?
Thank you so much, Julie. And I am happy that he's raising the issue of drainage. Government of Uganda is not sleeping. Government is working hard because much as we're talking about road infrastructure, one of the aspects we're looking at is drainages. True, we are talking about the roads getting spoiled every now and then. In our program, we are looking at improving the drainages. As I talk now, we have already secured a contractor for 2 drainages because our projects, some of them have issues of drainage to address. Chisakombe drainage, if you see in Mukono district, we are working on it. Karidubi, where at Bata, you have always seen flooding. There's a major plan to improve that area such that that road reduces flooding. And of course, in some of the areas, we have encumbrances where people have settled in those, along those drainages. We are also trying to make sure that we settle the PAPs and work on those drainages. We also urge our people, because the drainage problem is not only a government problem. We have people who have indiscipline. They carry garbage and dump in the drainages, not knowing that when these drainages are clogged, water will not flow like the way it should flow. Some people have settled in their wetlands, and when you talk about it, they will come up with the arms. But you know, along the way, the water will try to trace its own original path. And that is why some of the areas get flooded. So government is working as one government. We are working with the NEMA. We are working with the Ministry of Water and Environment. We are working together with the Ministry of Works and Transport. And as I talk now, we are already doing design for drainage master plan for Greater Kampala. Kampala Capital City Authority developed a drainage master plan, and now we are expanding it to the entire Greater Kampala, such that when we are addressing the issue of drainage, we don't only address it within the boundaries of the city, but we trace it up to, and of course, up to the surrounding areas. You already see that this area is surrounded by water body. So we must find a way of making sure that once we have the master plan, then we will see how to holistically, as government, address the issue of drainages the flooding and so on in the entire metropolitan area.
Hello, we are thankful for the service of KCCA in the nation and the city. Kindly share more light about transportation and parking within the city. This, you did not leave your name, but I think you're called Fad King Sechanzi. Thank you, Sechanzi, for being on the show. If you could speak into this one as well. They are asking on more light about transportation and parking within the city. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. I don't know what kind of parking he's talking about. Again, transportation, you know, is a broad topic.
Right.
We may be looking at the issue of urban mobility, where we're looking at maybe right now we have these commuter taxis and the borders, we have, but generally, because transportation is a very broad topic, I will want to say that to solve the issue of the city, we must look at mass transit. That's why I talked about bus rapid transport. That's why I talked about BRT, and on top of course, some of these transport facilities. Because we don't have mass transit, even we who work in government, we have so many small cars. In developed countries, you'll find most of the people today prefer even to cycle, to move on using bicycles to their workplaces. But because we do not have really that mass transport, that's why we're talking about parking. And when you look at the increment in the population, definitely, even the number of vehicles at this space is going to improve. Right. I mean, increase. And we are going to talk of parking space, which will definitely not be adequate. So these are areas where government really need to regulate. And I appeal to Ugandans to make sure that when we are regulating, they should give us the support. You are talking of transportation. If we walk up today and say, now let's have mass transit, the taxi people must accept that it is important they operate in areas which are outside the city center, which is already polluted. So all this require us to work with our people, engage them, and we will not even be talking of parking. You see developed countries that are bringing vehicles here, where we are importing and so on. Most of them are cycling. Most of them are walking. Most of them are using train. You see, and they're happy about it. Meaning, when you go to their parking space, even a very small parking space can park all their bicycles. Right. And they're happy about it.
Right. Now, let's look at the recent floods. Yesterday, it rained heavily. And the problem of floods is rather persistent. It not only did happen yesterday, even last week. Through the rains, generally, it happens. Do you think, in your perspective, that poor road construction is one of the reasons that this flooding is increasing more and more every time it rains? And if yes, in your perspective, what solutions are there in this current road construction wave to curb this problem?
Thank you, Julie. We can't attribute the flooding to poor road construction. This is not the first time. As the team that is working in the city trying to address issues of flooding. I have said Kampala metropolitan area is surrounded by water body. And they are the initial places which were wetlands. People have decided to reclaim. People have decided to build powerful houses. People have decided to settle. And therefore, the flooding is as a result of water looking for its original path. And this requires a lot of analysis by our engineers. I have already said we are trying to make sure that we have drainage master plan. And when we have this drainage master plan, we must also work with our people who have settled in this region. They must be positive towards the guidance we give them. As long as they are negative, they want NEMA to come and enforce by doing destruction for people who have settled in the wetlands. They want Ministry of Water to make a lot of noise. We are not going to holistically address this problem of flooding. So it is not one person's business. It requires government. It requires the people who are living in this region to all stand up and say, enough is enough. Let's protect our wetlands.
Right.
And of course, NEMA regulating issuance of the certificates for people who do developments. How do we coexist with the environment?
Thank you very much. Now, today being a Thursday, we also look forward to the rugby bench with Ruben and Makoma, and that limits our time for this conversation. But we are looking at the state of the roads in Kampala Metropolitan, and we're having this conversation with Edemachu Monica Ejua, who is the Undersecretary of the Office of the President, Ministry of Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. Good morning, love from Gulu City. This is Martin Ojik getting in touch. Thank you, Martin, for being on the show. Now, ma'am, at this point, I'd like for you to give us your parting shots in line with the topic of the day, the state of the roads. What should we expect in this season? What should we do as citizens to help the process? And what results should we look forward to?
Thank you, Julie. I want to thank the people who have been listening to this conversation. Government is committed to seeing that there's better infrastructure in the city and the surrounding area, and our people should cooperate with government if we are to achieve better and achieve and have better services in Kampala metropolitan area. And where we have road signage, let our people respect and slow down the speed as they drive within Kampala metropolitan area to avoid accidents. And we're ready to serve you, our people. Where you have issues, please get to us. Don't sit back. We are ready to serve you, the people who are living in this region. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, I definitely look forward to when we have a longer duration to speak into this very one, because lots of questions coming in, lots of questions ought to be discussed, and yet so little time. We were supposed to have engineer Dr. Semwemba James on this conversation, but that will be for another time now, seeing as time is such an enemy, limited at that, and yet you also need the update from the sports field. Ruben is coming through with the sports bench alongside, rather the rugby bench in the sports update with Makoma. So good morning, Uganda does continue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. Let's do this again tomorrow on a Friday. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachikuwa. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
In charge of steering the return of Enterprise Cup on the Uganda Rugby Union side. It is a pleasure for us to have it at Sekabaka Mutesa 2 Stadium at Wankulukuku. It is only fitting that we return to this stadium with which we share very good linkages through our benevolent patron, the son of Mutesa 2 Sekabaka, Prince Wasajja. So we are in his space. Uganda and rugby have a very strong collaboration. We are honored to be hosted by Wankulukuku Stadium and by effect the royal family of Uganda. Enterprise Cup is a legacy trophy tournament, and it's only fitting that we go to legacy grounds such as this. I would like to invite every rugby fan, Entebbe, Kampala, Jinja, Mkono, Gulu, Fort Poto, Mbarara, Keroro, please, you just come down and let us watch the rebirth of the Enterprise Cup. The Kenyans are coming. Usually we host them at Elgon, but this is going to be more exciting because it is two clubs that are close to many of you that will be engaged in this showdown. Good rugby as always, and we hope that there will also be a good, fun experience. Thank you very much.
Good to see him talk about that. Of course, we have not had that in 25 years. That is about the Enterprise Cup, but it was last played 25 years ago. Now that it is back, there's a reason for us to celebrate rugby, and there's a reason for us to discuss matters Enterprises Cup. My name is Ruben Impima, and I'm in the company of Bakoma. Every Thursday, we take you through the rugby bench, and of course, the expert is in the studio here with me. And I wanted to ask him where he has been. Last Thursday we did a show. I was here alone, so one would love to know where we were on Thursday last week.
Well, having come from a rugby background school, Ruben, you had to navigate your way and sail through successfully. Yes, it was one of those, of course, that was breaking news that you had to take through and take it by your shoulders. And yeah, it was. I wasn't well health-wise, but yeah, good enough. I've returned to the show, and yeah, we're good to sail on.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm told that the Weavers hijacked you somewhere on the way. I don't know if you can confirm the news.
Not the Weavers.
And the fumble has saved you from the Weavers. Anyway.
Yeah, in one way, yes. Schools rugby that happened across on Sunday, but the fumblers, Namilango College, being able to, navigate heavily and beat the Budonians this time round, and the fumblers, or rather the Weavers, which is Mark, falling short to Makerere College at their home ground. So all teams lost in their home grounds in their first leg of schools semi-finals. We are waiting to see what the second leg has this Sunday as well.
I'm told that during the halftime of that game, the Budonian game, the captain said that Gachari Mabaga told the Budonians, we are going to concede more tries and runs. But anyway, let's start with the moments in the Rugby Premier League. Do you have any moment there?
Well, to me, that moment is that surprise shock loss. That is the Impies beating the Heathens, and then the Buffaloes going to beat the Heathens, and then Nile Rapids being untouchable this season. Yet they are the bogey side, you would wish to say, with a couple of high school students dominating the side in the ginger-based female team. It's been so eye-catching, and for those that have watched women's rugby, Nile Rapids have taken the world by storm, winning the Uganda Cup consecutively, unbeaten 2 years in a row. That's 2024, 2025, and also returning to the league unbeaten this year. You believe they have a lot in them. That lion fight in them will give them miles to ride on, especially having more faces coming to national team. And also being unbeaten, like you can see on the table log, out of the 7 teams. They are position 3 with 1 draw and 4 straight wins. They are my ice-breaking team. I would wish to, give the ladies flowers for that. And also the Impies having given us 4 good weeks of riding on the shoulders of success, and also beating the Heathens at their home ground and their graveyard at Makerere, and the Buffaloes standing tall at this. We are waiting to see what they have in the anticipated Enterprise Cup as well. So for the league, for now, as we return back next weekend, it's been the Impies, the Nile Rapids, and the Buffaloes.
Okay, let's go into the elections that happened a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Of the association chairman for the rugby coordinators actually on district level. Did your people go through?
Well, luckily, I was also voted in.
Okay.
And I would say, yes, those I would wish to have
Did you
taken
read the
that
elections or you were voted in? Or you about stuffed?
Well, Ruben, like I say, we're doing a lot of development in the different
If you say we, you the who?
We the volunteers of the game.
Okay.
In the stage of developing through. That's for communities, schools, and maybe those that wish to uplift the game of rugby. So you understand that in a bid for Uganda Rugby, actually Uganda Rugby has dropped the name union in the status quo to acquire the federation.
I can see you in the picture, next to the lady. Get us those people in the picture. Who are those people away from you?
Well, each district,
3 people.
Yes, every district was represented by one delegate countrywide. So out of the 143 districts Uganda has, all the districts were represented. And in the same pursuit, every region had a desk, of course, petitioned on, and their delegates in that order. And like you can see, Tigezi, Ankole, Renzori, Toro, Bugisu, Bukedi, Toro, Busoga, Buganda, everywhere were represented. So in that very order, all the districts in that region come in to vote one of their own.
How about Buyukwe represented?
Buyukwe is actually in Buganda. That's in southern Buganda.
Okay.
Actually, Buganda has been divided into 3. That is Kampala, Metropolitan. Then you have southern Buganda and northern Buganda. So Buganda, that is all the way Buyukwe crossing the river into the normal central side. That is southern Buganda.
Okay.
And then the northern takes this stretch from Mitiana Road, Hoima Road, and also Luwero Gulu Highway.
Yeah.
So all the districts in that order, inclusive of Kayunga, that is northern Buganda, and the delegates also, like you can see, that's a unifying photo for all that were voted in, with the Iron Lady that many know in the political circles, Sarah Dong, taking on
I see Adongo in the green and white.
Yes.
So Adongo has always been green.
Yes, in her other circles.
He's a Gumire.
Yes. So Adongo also, alongside other members, alongside me as well, are given the mantle to steer the leadership of regional rugby in the different spaces. I may not be able to break down the particular faces in there, but like you can see, that's one photo spacing out the 19 zones out of the 4 that were known, because we had the Eastern, Western, Northern and Central. But this time around, the Uganda Bureau of Standards, rather Bureau of Statistics calendar, or rather census report that zones out these regions is what Uganda Rugby Union is following, in line or with guidance from the National Council of Sports, in ensuring that the regions are represented right, and also the delegates follow up with the government development programs. Remember, every district is given a budget to run sports, and it's in one way a way to harmonize development and also follow through to ensure that both the rugby union and the government are following pursuits to ensure that they align in the goals of the government and also the federation goals. So the best way to do it is aligning the district management through the sports officers by coming in with one district delegate who also is under or overseen or supported by the regional chairman, who now reports to the federation on matters technical and organizational or political, if you might say. And these ones are the members, the 19 of those, who are going to be sitting into the General Assembly to elect the presidents, because you can see right now the new Sports Act or law that came in nullifies all the president's leadership to ensure they align back, and anyone who has been in a chairmanship or presidency can now stand afresh, nullifying the constitutions they had earlier, and now this time around coming in with a fresh constitution at federation level, because most sporting associations were not having full federation status. So this time around, come May, the presidents or the chairmen that you can see on TV will be able to align with the club managers or chairmen to go and vote in a general assembly the next president or the next ExCom of Uganda Rugby Union, inclusive of all other sports as well, at least I'm certain, so that by the time the national cake comes, that is the budget, that is for the next financial year, you're able to acquire the full status of the federation, and you know who are those that brought you into office, and they're able to get the national cake politically, but by the right ways of leadership also voted in through those delegates. I
said slogan, energize your game, and I'm asking, were you energized that day?
Well, yes, I can say, by the faces that were there to volunteer and come in officially.
After rigging, you were energized.
Well, that's another matter for another day, Ruben. But yeah, it was politically brought to the limelight, and each region and each district represented fully.
Okay, away from that, let's go into matters revamped Enterprise Cup that returns after 25 years. And you did see the earlier clip that talked about that. And I want to ask you, Pearson, how do we, where has this Enterprise Cup been? I mean, 25 years down the road, now they are trying to resurrect it. So what does it mean for the rugby family?
Well, it is brotherhood and rivalry that is going to be reckoned. That's on the East African soil. Okay. Having started this tournament in 1929, where none of us was existing.
Maybe our grandfathers were around.
Yes, very much. It's a game or a tournament that was played even before the territories of the Britain were broken down, and Uganda and Kenya were most of those that played rugby as a unit. So having been played, it was only having 3 teams as Uganda. That is the Makerere University Impis, which were the students' side. And then the teams that were in Kampala by then, they had one franchise name, that was the Kampala Rugby Club, or you call it the Kampala Boys. If you might say, currently one might wish to report it or state it as the Kampala Old Boys currently, but I would not wish to state it that way, because on record it was a merge of the various teams that came in to make the Kampala Select team that won it 4 times actually, and then one other team that was Nile, which is currently split into the Hippos and the Waluku we're seeing today, but by then it was Nile, and those were the only 3 teams that featured in there, with Kampala team being able to win it 4 times, and and now having last been played in 1999, it returns back with 25 years with no action. But the presidents, that is the female president from Kenya and the Uganda Rugby Union president, that is Godwin Kayangwe, being able to revamp discussions in ensuring that the national teams don't only play the Elgon Cup, but always also have a moment of playing at club level. Like you can see the CAF Club World Cup, CAF Confederations, Club AFCON, and all that. So in this time round, rugby may not have it, but it is a case study that Uganda or East Africa is starting it. And in the same process, you understand that the top four teams in Kenya and top four teams in Uganda will be the ones tussling it out, with the Buffaloes, the Cobs, the Heathens, and the Pirates, with both countries starting at a quarter-final stage beginning this weekend. That is in Kenya with 2 games, and then in Uganda also 2 games happening this weekend. Will be at Wankuluku Kumutesa 2 Stadium with 2 games starting. That will be the Heathens playing against Cabras Sugar at as the second game, and then the the first game, and then the Stanbic Black Pirates at 4 p.m. will be playing against the KCB Rugby Club in there. KCB is one of those big ones. And then in Kenya, of course, Nakuru Town will be hosting the teams of Uganda playing in there, and you have the Cobs playing against Nondescripts or Nondis, and then Menengai Oilers playing against Toyota Buffaloes. The 2 teams that visit Kenya will be traveling today, and then the other 2 teams visiting from Kenya will be landing in today, and then a captain's run tomorrow, like go test the turf and see how it is. We'll be testing the soils at Wankulukuku tomorrow with the new face of Wankulukuku, actually, with the no flooding expectations. And to give also a good touch of those that have always wanted to see these teams tussle it at a neutral ground. Tomorrow will be the captain's run, and then on Saturday will be that action in there. And of course, great support from the Buganda Kingdom, led by the rugby patron, Prince Wasaja, ensuring this action returns, and also one will partner with Uganda Rugby Union as preparation for local regional rugby and regional rivalry, as we also await the Elgon Cup. And remember also the women will be crossing again this weekend to Kenya for a trial game. When you mentioned Buganda, you mentioned Prince Wasaja being part of the rugby. I smiled because I see whenever the Barangiras are mentioned, there's the way some people feel. Actually, the way we feel. To the Bantu Bakabaka out there who are celebrating the birthday of the king, you understand that the king himself, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi, played rugby as well in UK. At that's the King's College of UK in his early premier days. But what did he win? Well, that's history. We have to dig deep through the Kingdom archives. Okay, away from the Enterprise Cup into matters Lady Cranes preparations for the Rugby Africa Fitness tourney that will be taking place in May. That will be in Nairobi. Give us an insight on that. The preparations, how our girls ready for this? The 15s. Okay. Remember last year we happened to have been promoted into the top flight of the top 4, all the way after winning Tier B, or call it the second division tournament from Ivory Coast, Uganda beating all the teams in there and qualifying through to play at a World Cup qualifier status that was held in Madagascar, with Kenya, Madagascar, and South Africa alongside Uganda, which had been newly promoted. And Uganda had that only 1 game won by beating the hosts, that is Madagascar, and staying in the top flight in there. And then this time round, they are on for that tournament that will be hosted in May, that is in Nairobi, with Rugby Africa 15's women tournament. And this time around, Mohamed Athio takes the mantle for his first sail in there, with a trial game being played by, that is the Mwamba Rugby ladies team that will be played in Nairobi this weekend, as the Buffaloes and the Cobs travel. The ladies also travel this evening to, that is Nairobi, and in the same way, it's a trial build-up game with 35 ladies in camp. Remember, they started training at the beginning of February and March as well. So this time round, from the 60-something that were summoned, they cut it to 35 ladies in camp who train at Chadondo every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays every morning till noon. So this team has been cut to 35, and a few of those, 23, will be traveling, and the rest in the reserve camp will remain in camp training. And Muhammad Athio will have that only trial game played this weekend, awaiting his full preparation or tournament. That will be happening in May.
Okay, the expert always takes us through rugby, and Pearson Makoma is one expert when it comes to rugby. And of course, the bench has every information regarding rugby. The only show in the morning that gives you any update regarding rugby. Now, lastly, over the weekend, there will be a game between Namilyango College that will be taking place at Namilyango rugby pitch. And of course, I will not mention the other school. I'll leave it for you to mention. I will only mention but that the venue will be at Namilyango. Yes. And I'm sure that the gates will be open for the old boys, and for those who love rugby, you've got to go and support the team around SETA. The school's rugby is here.
Yes, this time round, remember that was last Sunday, it was the first leg of the semi-finals, and then this weekend is the return leg, finalizing all the hopes, or killing the hopes of those that didn't have any moment to rise through. Remember the first leg was, that was King's College Budo, and against Namilyango College at Nagalabi in Budo there, and Budo falling prey to Namilyango there on a big score, 54-24 in there. And this time round, we're waiting to see on average if they can be able to outstand, rather to overturn those results. With Namilyango looking very strong, I don't know what the Budonians would do, the Lions, if I might call them. Remember, they are the reigning defending champions last year, having beaten Namilyango in the finals, and also the current three-time record holder of the national championship. I don't know what they will do this time round, as the ball games are also yet to come in April in that very order. Because remember, the regional games that are happening for all the high schools, that is in the Western, the Eastern, the Northern, and the Central, that's the step they take or go through to qualify for the national ball games 15s that will be happening, and that will be hosted by Seroma Christian High School. That is from 29th to 9th of May, from that is 29th of April to 9th of May. In that order, you believe the schools this time round, like I said, Namilyango will still make it to the final in my pursuit, and are hoping that Makerere College for this time round, for the last 20 years, they'll make it to a final. And of course, Makerere College also going to smack your big rivals, beating them at home, venomous they turned out. And this time around, they host their games not at Makerere University like it had earlier been this year or this season. They hosted at 5D Ranch, that's the new pitch in Chira, right after Shimoni School. They will be having their games hosted there with their under-17 and under-20s playing in there, and smack beating, that is Makerere College, and the under-15 and under-17, but this time around falling to their big brothers. Waiting to see what Makerere College has, but I'm quite confident that this will be a year, or come next Sunday on the 29th, a neutral ground will be defined, and I believe Makerere College will be in to play against Namilyango, if I may preempt a prediction in here. But if Namilyango loses at home, it's one of the miracles that I saw quite hard to believe or see or witness when it comes to Namilyango losing at home, especially to a stage they believe they've been to with a comfortable lead in aggregate this time round. So that's what I predict in that order. And remember, the second division of the Central Rugby also happens this weekend at Busambaga Grounds, that's in Entebbe, the home of the Mongas, with the girls and the boys playing at that in on Sunday.
Okay, the message coming in through from Rita says that good morning, Ruben and Pearson. Akasaja kama nyiwagi bako. Yeah, Rita, Pearson is actually passionate about rugby, and he will tell you every detail of rugby. And that's why we chose to give rugby every Thursday, so that the viewer there, Rita, and others can get to know how Namilyango is doing, how the Cobs are doing, how the Impies are performing. And when Pearson comes into studio, we discuss matters rugby. And of course, somebody asked here about Beautiful Morning, the song played early. No, that song was played, actually was done by the SOBS. It played in the morning, Pearson, every morning on Thursday. Okay. We have what we call the Throwback Thursday. Yes. And before Julia and Tim gets here, we normally entertain the viewer. Yes. And we played the song called Beautiful Morning by SOBS. I don't know whether you know SOBS, maybe it's not your age.
Not certainly.
You know Kavako. Kavako and Kavako is your type. Well, but anyway, unless others, we've got to go. Anything else?
rallying before the fans to go and support their regional teams. There's a lot of regional rugby happening, both in the eastern, in the western, and the northern. That's for both high school and club rugby. And then the league goes to a halt this weekend for both male or female or ladies and men. And this time around, we have the Enterprise Cup. It's the East Africa Enterprise Cup that is happening after 25 years at Wankulukuku Mutesa 2 Stadium. And 10,000 will be giving you action from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. In other words, you will watch 2 Ugandan sides and 2 Kenyan sides. And in the same way, on every month we'll be having the Enterprise Cup. So since we are at a quarter-final stage this weekend, next month we shall have the semi-finals, and then the other month, that will be in May, we'll have the finals. So rallying before the fans, ensure that you come and support the teams that are available in solidarity. That is the Pirates and the Heathens that will be playing at Wankulukuku Stadium. And yeah, of course, like a 10K will give you all the fun you need.
Of course, all roads lead to Namilyango on Saturday. On Sunday rather.
For schools, right?
Where Namilyango will be in action, and I know that many of you out there would want to have a plot on Sunday. The plot is the college, and the place is the rugby pitch. Go and support the famous team.
So you'll have a moment to rub shoulders with the famous Chimono and the rest.
Of course, you wind back the clock all the years and talk matters, houses. There are those we used to mock those in Mukasa, and of course Hanlon. We'll tell them that those are not houses. The houses is Makia and Doyle. But anyway. We've got to go, Pearson. That's it for us this Thursday. And join us every Thursday when we take you through matters rugby. And Pearson Makoma always joins me to discuss matters rugby. And I always ask him the teams he supports, and he doesn't tell me.
I always say it. I support Chigezi Queens and Chigezi Silverbacks. So they're from Kabale.
Then the schools. The schools,
I will always support Makerere College because I played for the team.
Okay.
So,
but Famba asks when you played, how you played. He tells me that that side can't play rugby. You come here and brag.
I think Famba is one of those that needed AI earlier.
No, he's fasting. Famba is fasting.
From the current status of...
Famba told me that Eid is tomorrow.
Well,
did he invite you for Mchere?
I'll be glad to receive it.
I know Famba. Even Godwin was complaining the other day that Famba has not sent him a message for Eid. And I was talking to Godwin that Famba is like that. Every year, when Eid comes, Famba disappears.
Maybe.
Famba Abdul still. He tells us he has gone to Mecca.
No, every time there's room for improvement. So we pray that Ramadan will give him watch, will treat him right, and also his sins will be forgiven onto that. So one was thinking that he'll be a revamped or recycled human being this time round.
Okay, catch us tomorrow. We'll be at 6:30 take you through. But of course, tomorrow is Eid. And Famba Abdul Nasir, they say Eid Mubarak or Eid al-Fitr?
Eid Mubarak.
But are you a Muslim? I'm asking a pagan here.
Not being a pagan. Not following the religion doesn't make you a pagan. It's El-Fitr, I believe. Yeah.
El-Fitr. Yeah. So should we wish them a happy Eid, or it's not yet confirmed?
Well, it was confirmed for tomorrow. Sorry for those.
So what if the moon doesn't appear?
Well, it was confirmed by the Uganda Muslim Society, and many of those, at least, it was in doubt today, but of course it was
my friend
Godwin
here, who comes from the hills of, let's say, Kabale, it's hard to see the moon. So what if the Muslims in Kabale don't see the moon?
Well,
how do we celebrate Eid?
The national broadcaster
can tell them,
that
update, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And of course, you can always announce and give you authentic information if once the moon appears.
Yes.
But I know that it will be tomorrow. And Famba Abdul Nasir, Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullah. I know that you're going to invite the team here. Gordon is ready to have the Rusania ready, and of course Blondo and many others. Davis Kamuka, Mashafik, Semanove.
I will ask if he plays in the corporate league to understand how many goals or assists he has.
He didn't play. He doesn't play football. Actually, UBC won 2 out of 3 games. UBC did a good job there, and the team led by Dwago and Gawa performed well. Famba just
carries water for
even didn't cheerlead. You didn't see him anywhere. He was waiting for Pilau tomorrow.
Maybe he's fasting. We'll see him in a revamped side of it.
Okay.
Yes.
After
Ramadan. And Ramadan, and he'll be back to normal.
But Famba doesn't play any sport. Anyway, bye for now. Catch up tomorrow. Good morning.
This is Good Morning Uganda. of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years.
Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even